Today is EBOO Day. And if you've not heard of this procedure, maybe you think you have to go to California to do it. We have it in Louisiana. We're the only clinic. We're about to do a podcast on it and explain the amazing benefits. It's like a blood oil change. I think you're going to love this podcast. Stay tuned.
Hello, everyone. It's Cameron. Today I'm here with Dr. Chris Cormier, and we're going to be talking about EBOO Day, being that it's EBOO Day today, March 17th, also St. Patrick's Day. Hello, Dr. Cormier.
Hey, Cameron.
Let's start simple. What is EBOO?
It's some big words. Extracorporeal, blood, oxygenation, and ozonation. And what it means, it actually takes the blood out of one of your arms, then it actually filters the blood. 60% of all the crud that's ever gotten in your blood. Yeah. You got to imagine the pesticides and chemicals and toxins and microbes, microplastics, all the things that have gotten in your blood over the years. It filters 60% of it. Then it actually reoxygenates the blood and ozonates it and puts it back in the other arm.
Wow.
Yeah, so
it's a beautiful technique.
It really is.
Who invented this technique and where did it come from?
So it started in Malaysia around the year 2000. And this family there started this technique, and what they wanted to do was help the world to heal. Yeah. And so you want to think of it: the blood it's our life force. It's the part of your body that needs to stay clean and healthy to make sure that your overall health is good. But the unfortunate part is the world we're in is increasingly getting harder, filled with more toxins, chemicals, pollutants, additives, preservatives, all the things that are out there are getting in our system and really making our blood dirtier over time.
What does a typical EBOO session look like for a patient?
Yeah, so in our clinic here, the Nerve Health Institute, we have EBOO Prime, which is a separate business we have set up here. We have a nurse that runs it for us. She's been in practice for 25 years. And we have these very, very comfortable chairs that you sit in and your arms rest, your legs are propped up. They're made specifically for long-term sitting in a chair and being comfortable, right, with your blood being taken. And so one of the arms, a nurse will come in and actually do an IV, start an IV. The blood will flow out and go through a filter that filters 60% of all those things we talked about. And then the blood continues and it oxygenates and ozonates and goes through another tube and into your other arm. So you can watch the nasty blood come out of one arm and the beautiful cranberry blood going in the other arm.
That's amazing. I've known you pretty well over these past few podcasts that we've done. You were a non-invasive clinic. When did you get EBOO in your clinic, and why did you find it necessary?
Yeah, so for decades, we've been completely non-invasive. And at the Nerve Health Institute, I consider our clinic here to be one of the best in the world for all the different things. We have just everything you could ever imagine in the highest level science alternative world here. Things you can't even find in California, to be honest, or New York. So it's very unique being we're here in South Louisiana. But I started to realize that, no matter what we do, it's very difficult to take all of that nastiness out of somebody's blood. So, yeah, for me to go do something invasive, it had to be something that was going to be amazing, right, for our patients. But also there's less than 100 of these EBOO clinics in the world, in the country, in the United States. And so we're so lucky to be one of these clinics that are helping people to get all this nastiness out of blood.
How long does the EBOO process take, and how does somebody feel while they're doing it?
Yeah, so it takes about an hour, and I don't like needles. So for me, I was scared initially just to have needles done, which I shouldn't be. It's not like there's anything to worry about, but I'm going to tell you, after I had my first procedure, it was transforming because you literally see the stuff coming out of your blood and you start to realize, what is that, right? Yeah. You don't even know what it is. But you can see the beautiful cranberry blood coming in the other arm. And it's like, that you just had this cleaning, this deep, deep, deep cleaning. It's almost like your house, if you just do a surface clean and you maybe don't have a good maid, or you're not a good cleaner and you just want to kind of cover things up. That's kind of what people are doing with their bodies. Yeah. But this goes deeper and it actually pulls out a lot of those deep things that have been in your system for a long time. So when you get throughout the procedure, I could almost feel my body healing. Remember, because we have a self-healing body, right? Most people don't even know what self-healing is, but your body's designed to heal itself by God. It's an amazing body that you have. And so when you take that nasty blood and you actually convert it to this beautiful new blood, your body's self-healing starts to turn back on because your body says, whoa, I just removed a significant part of my toxic load.
Yes. Who is EBOO typically recommended for?
Typically anybody greater than 16, 17 is what we typically recommend. And sometimes it's 18, but there are some contraindications where our nurse is very particular about all those contraindications. An example would be, let's say somebody has lymph nodes that have been removed from maybe a cancer, then you can't necessarily do an IV on one of their arms. So there are a few contraindications, but for the most part, I firmly believe that this is a procedure just about everybody needs nowadays because of how toxic people really are.
What is happening in the body that leads someone to actually need this EBOO procedure?
Exactly what we talked about before. The world we're in it's literally just living on planet Earth. That's what it is. So you can be the healthiest person. I really try every single day. My family and we try so hard to be healthy. But it's just impossible, right? You can't avoid getting microplastics in your system nowadays. You can't avoid some chemicals and some toxins. Like you can be on the road and driving, and you got some chemical being sprayed that you breathe in, it gets in your blood. I mean, it just is what it is. You could have something on clothes that you're trying on in a store. I mean, you can have something in your food. You go out to eat and there's something in your food. There's just so much getting in our systems that your body's trying to naturally detox, but over time it just can't keep up. And the more toxic your body gets, that's when bad things happen.
Why do people often feel dramatically better after a session?
Again, it's just when you're taking it. This procedure, in my opinion, is the fastest way and safest way to remove the most toxins from your body. So you hear about people doing detoxes and cleanses and all these different things where they take a lot of pills and have all this stuff. Well, this is it's a do-it-yourself. It's like literally having somebody do it for you, where it takes that nastiness out. You can watch it come out. You can watch chunks of things come out. It's gross to think about, but it actually is therapeutic at the same time. And then once you get finished with it and during it, it's like it's just taking that toxic load out in a way that you've never ever had done before.
After a session or sessions of EBOO, if a patient doesn't change their lifestyle, could that feeling possibly not last?
Of course, of course. And again, somebody could have a really good lifestyle and still develop these toxins. So those types of people, if they have a good lifestyle after, they don't develop those toxins quite as fast. But let's say somebody who's very, very toxic, doing some really bad things on a day-to-day basis, they'll get all those toxins back in. And so, but still, you got to imagine, let's say somebody's 50 years old. Well, they've accrued all this stuff in their blood for 50 years. And when you do one procedure does about 2 liters of blood. The average person has about 6 liters of blood. And we can't do all 6 liters because it would just be too much for your body to take out all that nastiness at once. So we have to do it in increments. But 2 liters, just doing that 2 liters of blood and taking that nastiness out is so therapeutic for the body. The body just basically says, oh my goodness, thank you so much for removing this toxic load.
Is EBOO a solution, or is it more of just a signal that something deeper is wrong?
EBOO is, okay, your car, for instance, if you ran your car for 1 million miles and you never had an oil change, imagine how dirty the oil would be. That's what people are doing to their bodies oftentimes. And the dirtier that blood in your body gets, it just can't, your body can't function. It's such an important part of your body. We obviously talk about other things, right? You got your brain and your spinal cord and your nerves and your cells, and you got your heart, right? Pumping blood to all these cells. I always tell people the 2 most important things in your body are your brain and your heart. You want your brain connected to your cells, which you have trillions of cells, and you want your heart connected to your cells. And so the heart side, you can imagine the dirtier that blood gets flowing around, the harder it is to bring good nutrients to each one of those cells. And then it becomes a task that's almost impossible. So that's, for our purposes, in overall health and wellness, it's a fantastic tool for helping our patients.
Where does EBOO fit into your overall approach?
Exactly what we just kind of mentioned. Remember my methodology, I've been in practice for decades. And when it comes to the human body, you have trillions of cells. The number one ingredient, people don't realize this, everybody should know this, is oxygen gas. The number two ingredient in all your cells is water. And the number three ingredient is light energy. And that light energy is kind of your fiber optics for your nervous system, right? So I call it OWL. And so we basically replenish those ingredients back into people. There's other ingredients like frequency, and that are extremely important, magnetism, basic nutrients that people need. And we do it in that order. So it's oxygen, water, light, frequency, magnetism, nutrients. But then also you have detoxification. And that's what EBOO is doing. It's literally taking that toxic load out so that we can replenish those other ingredients and make things easier.
Amazing. You talked a little bit about frequency. Let's go on to your body charger. You have a platform, and you also have these devices that have become very intriguing to me. Where do body chargers come into play with this approach and with EBOO?
Right. So we got Nerve Health Institute, which we're helping all our patients with our OWL method, and all the different amazing high-tech devices that we have and methods. But then we also have EBOO Prime within the Nerve Health Institute, where we're helping to detox and taking all this nastiness out of people. But that wasn't good enough for me because, patients leave here and I want to go with them 24/7 and I can't. So we developed Body Chargers, which is an online platform. It's literally all the things that I've recommended to patients and myself for many years. And we put it onto a platform and put it into a community that people can join and they just get a membership. And it will literally teach you everything about the greatest gift we've ever been given, which is
self-healing.
Self-healing. You got it. Yeah. And so in our self-healing, we're trying to create a self-healing movement. And so we have this community for self-healing with our Body Chargers membership. And it's all centered. Everything we're doing with the Nerve Health Institute, with EBOO Prime, everything we're doing with Body Chargers is centered on teaching people how to be their own mechanic and how to boost up and maximize their body's self-healing capacity.
If someone is considering EBOO right now, what should they really be asking themselves?
It's almost like you should be saying, I need to go have it regardless, right? Because I'm on my oil right now in my truck. And I'm a little overdue and it makes me panic, right? Just for an oil change. So with my body, now that I started having EBOO, it's like something that you crave because you want to take that toxic load out. And so I think people, if you heard about it, understand that this particular technique, in my opinion, is one of the greatest things you can do, bar none, for your blood. And essentially everybody, unless you have any contraindications, needs this procedure. And should be having this procedure done throughout the course of their life for maximum cleaning of the blood and for just making sure that blood can stay as healthy as possible to transport all the nutrients to the cells.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Cormier. That does conclude our talk today. Happy EBOO Day, guys.
Thanks, Cameron.
If you can relate to what we talked about in this podcast, then subscribe to our channel and like this video, as it really helps the algorithm. Don't forget, if you want to help yourself with self-healing at home right now, then simply become a Body Chargers by Dr. Chris member. And remember, our clinic, the Nerve Health Institute, is open all year round for in-person visits. For more information, just click the link below.